Timer's ticking. Last chance to hit those likes. Let's get the party started. Yo! What's going on, everybody? Got a small crowd in here today. It's Thanksgiving weekend. Bitcoin going sideways, but let's have some fun. Let's talk some charts on Saturday. I thought might as well hop on. Let's hop on in. What's going on? Aiko, Bjorn, James, Dion, Crypto Winter. He said he's holding 300 Adam. I got you one Adam, man. You asked like 3 times. All I can do, if you say please, just say please in the chat, and I got you on Adam, my man. Let's see. We got Chris. Safe Moon he said, safe moon, not safe, bro. Anything with safe and moon is a Ponzi. Yeah, I would say anything that has to call itself safe is probably not safe. Like it's like it's funny. We walk around over here and look at the grocery stores, and we're like, they all call each other fresh. But it's like, if you have to. All right, you should be fresh. That should already be a prerequisite. Why are you calling yourself the fresh grocery store? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, thanks. You know, if a crypto calls itself safe, I give myself a little bit of pause there. Is it actually safe? Anyways, what's going on, guys? Happy freaking Saturday. Bitcoin, you guys can see the charts here. Really, we'll talk, what we can expect for Bitcoin's next move. It is, making lower highs, higher lows. It seems to do this every single weekend lately, where it kind of just, makes a move on Friday, stops, and then coils up for a move going into Monday, if you know what I mean. Let's see. I turned off BB in the Bahamas to be here. It better be good. BB's in the Bahamas? Oh my God. His wife's going to kill him. His wife is absolutely going to kill him. What's going on, guys? The third biggest channel in the interwebs. Today, guys, I'm traveling to the Bahamas, okay? I am going to take down SBF myself, okay? I will storm in there with my big giant guns, and I will take down SPF myself. I will tackle him to the ground. Have you seen how much I can bench press? I'm going to take down SPF. Is he? I haven't paid attention really to anything about crypto today. Did he actually go to the Bahamas? Is that actually legit? Let me know in the chat. I haven't seen anything about that. If that actually is, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. We'll see what he has to say there. His wife's gonna kill him though, right? I mean, at this point, it's like, dude, you got a wife and kids. Like, chill out, man. Like, stop going after billionaires. It's not gonna work out very well for you in the end. Anyways, let's jump on into the charts. What do we got going on for BT Sizzle? Madness. Well, if we look here, Bitcoin's forming its symmetrical triangle, right? Like we said earlier, it seems to do this every single Saturday, where Friday, you're really at the end of the week, you get the move, right? So we got the move to the upside going into Thursday and Friday. And then what does Bitcoin tend to do on the weekend? Well, it tends to lose all the volume on the weekend. Why? We're in a bear market. You tend not to get too much price action in sort of the weekend, and the weekend usually is the setup for the move going into Monday, right? You guys can see the volume falling off a cliff here, and you guys can see you're making higher lows, right, and lower highs, which is basically going to coil up for the move coming up probably early next week. I mean, we'll decide what Bitcoin does from there. Now, what do we know about symmetrical triangles? They are, usually continuation patterns, right? This one came from the downside, so it has a higher chance to break up to the upside, okay? You really zoom out, though. I mean, we look at where Bitcoin is in the grand scheme of things, man. It's really just up and down in between 16K and 17K, having a hell of a time, sort of boring everyone out again. And this is the point where, once again, everyone starts getting super, super bored. We'll look at some interesting things today. Today I want to look at, I kind of want to just kind of hang out. I'll look at some Google Trends, see what the Google Trends are saying about different Bitcoin narratives, recession narrative, things like that. We'll look at all that fun stuff. And we'll look at, stock market, some altcoins are doing pretty well. You got Litecoin coming up a little bit again. You got BNB coming up a little bit again. You got Chainlink coming up. Is Chainlink coming up good? Well, based off the history, Chainlink coming up is no bueno. Absolutely no bueno. Let's see. We guys are saying in the chat. Let's see. Someone said, crap, no wonder Bitcoin's dropping. Jordan's on. No, Bitcoin usually doesn't do shit when I'm on. You know how this works, guys. Come on. Now, maybe, we don't usually stream on Saturdays, so maybe we get a little price action because I don't normally stream on Saturdays, and the whales aren't really listening to us on this Saturday because they're not used to it, right? They're on vacation right now. They think, okay, Jordan's not going to stream. Let's make some type of move. You know what they do. You guys know what they do. Let's see. When Natty Light? No Natty Lights for me, my man. Let's see. Market maker buying all the BTC. Market maker buying all the BTC. We'll see. Anyways, right? I mean, that's really the short-term time frame right now, guys. I mean, there's not much really else. I mean, if you really look at like the 4-hour time frame, right? It's between 17K and 16K. That's really our range. And if you notice where we're kind of sitting right now is if you take the bottom of the range to the top of the range, you can see that Bitcoin's just sitting right in the mid-range level, right? The 0.5 retracement, right in the middle of the range, just finding support, right? Support. I will say we probably want to hold that level. Why? Because if we don't, if Bitcoin starts to come back down and actually breaks this level here, well, we might have a little bit of a left shoulder, a little bit of a right shoulder, a little bit, action here as we sort of form a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern that we talked about yesterday, where this would give us a measured move back down to right around that previous low. Take that vector candle back down to 15,800 if we can't hold the lows here. So we want to do that in the short term, my friends. We want to do that. Jordan, we want to go lower. We're bored. We don't want to see Bitcoin pump. It's just going to dump anyways. We just want to see it dump to 10K, get it over with. We don't want to see any of this bullshit to the upside. Sick of this market. Just dump it. I've been waiting a year for this shit. When bottom? When freaking bottom? Oh, Lord. But that's Bitcoin. And in a nutshell, right, we see a break to the upside. It's it's a move back up to, really the highs, right? I mean, you look at it's slightly above the highs here, but right, wick up, and that would put you right back up above the wicks at like 17K, where 17K has been a problem for BTC over here in the short term. So that's where we're at. As far as BTC in the short term, really not else much besides that, my friends. I think we're all kind of watching paint dry at the moment. And hey, what's better than watching paint dry with people we've been watching the stream and hanging out with for? We're almost pushing the 2-year mark at this point, my friends. We're getting there. A couple months, we're almost pushing the 2-year anniversary of the stream starting. So let's freaking get busy. Let me see what you guys are saying in chat. B Money, what's going on, man? Happy Saturday. Thanks for coming and chilling on today. Crypto dump signal flash today. Crypto dump signal. Well, that probably means we're gonna pump. If we're gonna be honest. Pump it. Anyways. So I think we're all waiting for the FOMC meeting, right? FOMC meeting coming up on the 13th of December. We're just chopping here in sort of this range. It's really, really freaking boring, man. FOMC meeting and CPI coming up on December 13th. Bitcoin up, down this range. The big thing we're waiting for is the FOMC meeting. Now, we talked about this on sort of, we talked about this yesterday, right? Where, really what we're kind of waiting for is sort of, the Fed to do their thing. I know it's the boring thing to talk about, right? It's the fun thing to look at charts and sort of speculate. We're waiting the Fed to change up their policy. And we sort of talked about in the past and on Friday that, we sort of look here and we say, this time might be a little bit different. Why? Well, if you guys watch Becker's video, and we talked about this on yesterday's stream. I deleted the stream, so I didn't get an ad strike there. But we look over here. We got September of 2000. We got December of 2007. That's when the Fed pivoted. What was different about those markets is the Fed pivoted at the highs of both of those markets. And that's the big thing that's different about this current market. I mean, it's very, very different, okay? Because if you look, market was going up when the Fed stopped interest rates. So basically this red arrow is when the Fed stopped, or really started to turn around interest rates and take off the rates. That was at the top of the market. And the market started to go down in 2000, okay? When the recession started. Same thing here. We're coming up. Fed reverse interest rates at the highs. What's different about this time, and I know people are like, oh, the Bitcoin, the S&P and the stock markets usually dump when the Fed pivots. That's true. That's true based off history. What's a little bit different this time is, one, so far we've seen inflation already top out, okay, which is very different than 2000, which is everyone's talking about 2000. 2000, you saw inflation peak here, right here, and you saw the Fed pivot at the highs. What's different this time, you've already came down 30-something%. Inflation's already topped out. For now, we don't know if it actually did, okay? That could easily change. And the Fed hasn't even pivoted yet. So it's very different than those previous times. So it's easy to say, okay, the Fed's going to pivot and we're going to dump like we did the 2 previous times. I would argue that's not necessarily true, because the price action is so much different than those times. We'll see, right? At the end of the day, I think that's what we're all waiting for. But I'm not gonna go through this whole shit again. This whole spiel, this whole mumbo jumbo, and all that stuff. Okay? Holy moly, man! Holy freaking moly! Jordan, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. So you're telling me when the Fed pivots, everyone's telling me we pump when the Fed pivots, but we actually dump? Well, there's no hope for the markets then. We are going to zero. This is manipulation. Everyone's telling me the markets are going to pump when the Fed pivots. What am I supposed to do? I already sold my whole portfolio, but I have nothing else to invest in. Well, I can buy some Cheez-Its and eat those. It is the bear market. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some Cheez-Its. I'm going to Rite Aid. See ya. Thank you, horse guy. LFAT. Oh shit, the LFAT, man. Hold up, I gotta get the LFAT. Give me 2 seconds. Merry Christmas, mofos. I forgot the LFAT. Now Bitcoin's gonna dump because I forgot the LFAT. We got the LFAT back on, man. Sorry. Sorry. Crypto Shock, thanks for calling off the LFAT. It's completely ridiculous. I'm sorry, guys. We got the LFAT back on. We're good. We reversed the karma. Okay? So, like we said, if you guys are new to the stream, I'm not taking off this LFAT until Bitcoin makes a new low. Okay? So maybe, and this is the hope of this whole thing, okay? This is the ultimate hope of this whole thing, is that Bitcoin trolls me and makes me wear the elf hat forever now, okay? That's the hope, okay? Now, if I have to be the sacrifice to do it, that's cool. I hope I don't have to wear this every day. I hope, Bitcoin goes a little bit lower so I don't have to wear this, but I'm cool with being the sacrifice. So that's the hope. I will jinx myself in order to do that, my friends. I will definitely jinx myself. Ainfrich, what's going on, man? Ainfac. I think I'm saying your name right, man. I think that name kind of sounds a little bit German, my man. Ainfac. 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 It sounds like I'm swearing. Ainfac. YouTube's going to ban me. Anyways. That's where we're at. Besides that, I mean, still remains, Bitcoin, as long as it stays below 19K, you still got to remain a little bit tipsy-turvy here. Don't get too excited on any pump until Bitcoin breaks the previous lows. Stay, I guess, what I mean by that is if Bitcoin starts moving up here, right, and you start, say if Bitcoin does start moving up before the FOMC meeting in the CPI, okay? Bitcoin starts moving up, 18K, right, 18.5. Don't be that guy. Don't be horse guy who starts FOMOing in right here when once again, you had a month to buy down here. Don't be horse guy who FOMOs in because you think the bottom's in when you're really just going to buy into the biggest resistance that Bitcoin probably has at this current time frame, okay? So, once again, we flip 19K. We start closing some dailies. We start to break this level. We break 19K. We get back above here. Okay, then we can start talking. And at that point, I'd be pretty hard pressed to say that Bitcoin price action doesn't look pretty good at that point, where you have the one low, the two lows, the deviation low. You get back above here. You start consolidating here. I'm looking at it as a deviation. But until we get back above there, everything kind of remains the same. And you got to still give this a little bit of, I don't want to get too bearish here, but you got to give it still a little bit of a bearish bias at this point, okay? Once again, don't get overly bearish, right? I mean, Bitcoin's sitting at $16,000. Don't be overly bearish, but at the same point, don't get overly optimistic at any point in this, and if Bitcoin starts to move up at any point in this range, all right? At least that's what I'm looking for here. Let's see. Taking care of business. Rudy, what's going on, buddy? We're here on a Saturday. Of course we are, man. I told you guys I was going to stream today. I told you guys in the morning, but I also, I couldn't stream in the morning. But, and there was really nothing going on in the morning. I'm hoping something goes down now so we can actually have something to talk about. Bitcoin's at support. Just a big symmetrical triangle like we talked about. Now, let's talk some other stuff. Let's talk Chainlink, because Chainlink's going up, my guys. And typically, based off previous history, when Chainlink moves up, that's not good for Bitcoin. When Chainlink moves up, oh my lord.
Everybody panic, we're going to zero.
You know what that means, my man. The Bank of Canada guy's about to come out.
Basically, Bitcoin is clearly a scam. Cryptocurrency is clearly an idiot with no common sense. And scientifically speaking, according to a study, at the Bank of Canada, more people who are financially illiterate invest in Bitcoin.
No, but every single time, guys, Chainlink gets that move up, Bitcoin tends to see that little bit of bearishness. Doesn't have to happen now, but just keep that in the back of your head. As much as I want to be like, yes, let's freaking go, Bitcoin to the moon, we got Chainlink pumping, man. If Chainlink wasn't going up the rest, all right, it's fine if Chainlink pumps, but when it's pumping the rest of the market, not great. But Chainlink's getting a nice little move up. I would say at this point, the price actually looks pretty good for this one, man. I don't hate Chainlink still. I think this one's got a little bit more upside, at least for the short term. I'm looking for Chainlink. I'm just looking at Chainlink because Chainlink is one pumping. I'm looking for Chainlink to come up and test this level here. It's got this vector candle on the daily back up to the upside. All these previous resistance points, I'm looking for Chainlink to come up and test like $8, somewhere in that range, would be absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. By the way, I saw Cody became a member, or Cody rejoined. So one of those two. One of those two. Appreciate you, Cody. Thanks for joining and becoming a member, man. Venos, what's going on, man? He said, hey, Jordan, can you look at Spell, please? I got you on Spell. And I also got Adam for the guy who was begging for Adam in the pregame lobby. All right. Well, today we'll look at some alts. Let's see where we're at. At the end of the day, they're mostly going to follow Bitcoin. But I still don't hate Chainlink to come up and test $8. It's got no bearish divergence, right? Lower highs on the daily, RSI. So I don't see why the daily can't continue back up to the upside for Captain Chainlink. I'm not too worried about the super short-term time frames. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, for me personally, I'm a stacker, and also if I'm going to trade, it's going to be a swing trade where I hold it more so over the course of a couple days to weeks. So that's my plan. Knucklebuster, what's going on, buddy? Much love, Aiko. How long is forever? That's a good question. Forever is technically forever. It's infinite. You know what I mean? So that's Chainlink. Let me look at Spell token real quick for Venos. Spell token. Let's see what we got. Oh, man. This one is deep down into the crypto abyss. Deep into the crypto abyss. Hold on. Warning, shots fired. There's some serious warning shots fired going on with this one. Holy moly, man. This one's actually breaking the lows down here, you see? It's a slight deviation below, but, man, the problem with this one is that you had the lows. You smacked the lows. You were able to get back above, okay? But then you came back below, found resistance on that low. So this one's looking a little bit iffy. You had bullish divergence in the daily, but you didn't get anywhere, man. It spiked up and then spiked right back to the downside. So this one's showing a little bit bearishness, in my opinion. If you zoom out, at least on Binance, I don't know if this is the whole chart for Spell token. Let me see if there's a better chart here. Spell Coinbase. No. So this one seems like it's way down there. This one doesn't really have anything below here, you know? So this one's kind of just in a quote-unquote, free fall. What I will say is it's still got some liquidity to the upside. And if we expect, Bitcoin to move up until the FOMC meeting coming up in December, I expect altcoins to do it too. So as much as I want to say, okay, this looks pretty shady, if we really want to zoom out on this bad boy and look at like the weekly time frame, it's not a ton of data on this bad boy. It's a relatively new. It's too new. It's too new to talk about this really. But I mean, the 3-day. The 3-day's got some extended bullish divergence here. At least in the over the course of the next month or so. So you got lower lows, higher lows. You got this huge vector candle, this huge wick up here. I don't see why this one doesn't come up, take this with BTC. And then you start to roll back over going into December if you don't get that bullish pal that we're looking for Bitcoin, Let's see Bitcoin. 16,458 for BTC. Let's see. AC said, it's okay, Jordan. Tell him the truth. It's going to zero. You want the truth? That coin is a shit coin. That coin's going straight to zero, along with the other friggin' shit coins that are in this market. Oh my lord, the only coins you need are Shiba and Doge. Get rid of all the other trash. Nice, man. Mom, can I borrow $5 to DCA into Shiba? What do you mean you're spending on Mountain Dew? Well, can you get me another pack at least? Oh, was buy one, get one free? Great. All right, I'll be up for 2 Mountain Dews in a bit. Thanks, Mom. Yeah, I love my mom. She always gets me Mountain Dew. Anyways, let's look at Adam, because someone was begging for Adam, man. Begging for Adam. And a lot of these altcoin charts are going to look relatively similar, but let's bring up Adam real quick. Adam. Let's go back to the daily on Atom. Adam's taking a little bit of a crumble here in the short term. It was holding up very, very well. The issue I see with Adam, okay, is you obviously got the first high, the second high, right? So you got that big M formation on the highs here. The problem you see with Adam is you broke that M formation. So now you got to contend with these levels right here, right? Low, you came back up. Now this support is going to act as resistance. So if this does make its way back up for Adam, right? This is going to be a tough level. If you can reclaim the M formation lows, you got a good chance. And if you look up, you got this liquidity to the upside up here. If it can reclaim the lows at 1130, this has got a good chance to come back up and make another significant run, in my opinion. If you look up, all right, let's do a little quick fib. Let's take a low to a high and see where we're sitting at the moment. Man. So this one actually broke 618. Man, this one got a little bit more downside. Man, oh man, oh man. Let's zoom in a little bit. It's not my favorite chart in the world. It's not as clean as some of the other ones. So the fibs aren't going to help us there. I guess what you can say is, and the level we looked at previously was this previous low, okay, coming across, which was a big level looking left. So that's a good bounce off that level. Now you got to reclaim the lows, okay? Reclaim these lows. You're most likely coming up to take this liquidity up here. For Mr. Atom. Atom. Whenever I say Atom, I think of an apple. By the way, guys, what's your favorite fruit? Let me know in the chat. What's your favorite fruit? My favorite fruit is easily watermelon. Watermelon kicks ass. People will say watermelon's one of the most plain fruits. It is. But there's nothing like a hot summer day. You put some watermelon in your mouth and you just kind of let that just soak right in. There's something really, really good about watermelon. Let me tell you. Watermelon is the absolute shit-nami. Shit-nami. Let me see. Josh, what's up? What's up, everybody? We're hanging out on Saturday night watching some paint dry, man. That's what we're doing tonight. Another day, another paint dry. If you know what I mean, buddy. OG's in the house. What's going on, OG Johnny P? OG's in the house. I mean, we're getting to that point in the bear market where, we only got the OGs left, okay? The newcomers, right? The people that, stopped in only for the bull run, they're gone. Adios. Peace. They'll be back when the next bull run happens. But, we got the hardcore OGs. Anyone that still watches crypto content is a hardcore OG at this moment. I do have to say, right? You are a hardcore OG, right? We all got some serious mental issues at this point. I think we can all agree on that. All right, Ethereum. What do we got for ETH? Let's do some ETH shots today. Let's do some ETH shots, right? What does George have to say about ETH? I am George. We're all George. Merry Christmas, my friends. Are you guys ready for the Santa Claus rally on Ethereum? So we saw the big dump on the Ethereum merge, but I think we are all ready for the Santa Claus rally. If you take a look at what Ethereum's typically done in December, Ethereum has been green 8 out of the last 10 Decembers. So I do believe, I made this up, guys, by the way. I do believe that Bitcoin's going to see that, and Ethereum are going to see that Santa Claus rally And we're going to see, possibly that $2,000 Ethereum, maybe even $2,500 Ethereum, if we can see that Santa Claus rally going into the end of the year. So continue to DCA, continue to hodl, and yeah, guys, let's do some quick Q&A. Let's do some Q&A. Let me see. Let me just scroll up a little bit. Let me scroll up. Stop spreading fun in the chat, Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. AZ said no Santa rally this year. Only Christmas sell-off. Christmas sell-off. People taking profits for tax reasons. Usually that's the fun at every single December. It's people are going to sell for taxes. Now, what we've seen the last, let's go back and look at December's, right? Because, if we do go back and look, I think most Decembers have actually been pretty bearish. Let me go back and look real quick. And actually, no. Let me do Ethereum real quick, and then we'll look. I lose track so easily. I swear, guys, I have OCD, ADHD, something. I definitely have something, man. Maybe I should go get checked out. You guys think I should get checked out? I do. Anyways, let's see what we got. So, Ethereum. I was looking at this earlier, and I was saying, okay, Ethereum's got a pretty heavy support level coming across like this. And if you look at the top side of this bad boy, are we going to form some kind of longer, rising wedge formation, right? It's a little bit wonky, okay? There's 3 touches on both sides, but it's a little bit extended. But you get a low, a high, a low, a high, and a low. So you kind of got this going on. Now, this doesn't mean it can't continue up higher in the short term, but if you look at kind of where Ethereum is, you did take this vector right here, and if looked at exactly where you topped out, makes sense why you came up to this level. Now, you still got this little thing up here. So I'm watching this level right here for ETH. Right here for Ethereum. And this is where I see, at least for the short term, right? This is super, super short term shit. This is on the 1 hour time frame. Do we see Ethereum make its way up, take that little last liquidity to the upside, and then start to come back down, and it possibly have a little short-term correction to come back down, and then start to rise back up? That's the most logical scenario to me. Is we rise up, we take that, we come back down for ETH, we probably retrace to 618 retracement or something along those lines, and we go from there. But you can see, these typically break down 69% of the time. You can't make this shit up. Of course it breaks down 69% of the time. Why would it not? What's going on, guys? It's Becker. Of course wedges break down 69% of the time. Why? Because I wedged my freaking giant pickle right up your mom's ass. Why? She likes it that way. All right? So you wonder why wedges break down 69% of the time? Because I dropped that pickle down. Okay, 69% of the time. The other 31% of the time, I ignore. But 69% of the time, I'm dropping that pickle. All right. Thanks, Becker. Thanks, buddy. But anyways, that's sort of what I see with Ethereum. I do think a continue move up to 1,250 makes the most sense, and then sort of you get a little bit of a correction there. Hide the kids. Hide the kids. Hide your mom. All right, so real quick, let's go to the daily on ETH. Just one more quick thing on the daily. If you look at the daily, let's get rid of this. If you look at where we're on the daily, it's the same point as BTC. I can't get too bullish on Ethereum until you get back above the lows, right? So the lows come in right around 1,260. You got all these lows now flipping into resistance. So you gotta reclaim this level. You get back above this and reclaim this. I think at least for the short term, we're looking pretty good. And you probably see a back test of this kind of original, this original kind of channel. Because if you look at what Ethereum's still doing, at the end of the day, it's still kind of in this big channel, right? So even that dump that we had in the beginning of November because of SBF, and you really look, it's still just kind of in this channel with a slight deviation above, right? You get a deviation above, Ethereum looks bullish, you have the SBF news, you dump back in, and now you're kind of just back in here. So if you got to look at where we're kind of looking at and the trajectory that Ethereum could take, what makes the most sense? a little bit of a rise up, a rejection off the lows, probably come back down and retest again. I think it happens a little bit quicker than that. I think you get a rise up next week, comes back down and tests the lows pretty quickly, and then we say I would have a little bit of a rally into the FOMC meeting. But what happens after that is the big kicker. So a lot of confluence there for Ethereum, a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff we're still waiting on some of the stuff that we see from the Fed, man. I do think, and I'm not a dumbass. I love how I say I'm not a dumbass. It's like I said earlier. If someone has to say they're not a dumbass, they might be a dumbass. No, but in all seriousness, we're coming up to an interesting point. We are coming up to the point where everyone's expecting the Fed to start not lowering rates, but lowering the pace of the rates. Okay? And we're coming to that point where we've already seen inflation top out unless it starts coming back up again. So we're seeing a lot of the signals that we want to see potentially coming up on December 13th. It's just a matter of patience at this point and seeing how it plays out. I do think this time could be a little bit different. I'm not going to go over this again. I love talking about that stuff, but I'm not going to go over it again because you guys are like, Jordan, we heard about that. We understand. We get it. We talked about it the whole stream yesterday. I have fun talking about that stuff. Anyways, let's look at Bitcoin in December. What does Bitcoin typically do in December, man? Let's see. So this last December was right here. Obviously, December 2021 was not very good, right? We know this. Why? That was November was the highs. December, you were starting to come back down. So December of 2021, not good. Okay. December 2020 was actually the best month in the bull market, to be fair. And let's go back a little bit further so we can get a little bit more data here. December 2019 was red. Not a huge red month. I mean, it was pretty much sideways, to be honest. So you could tell that there's not really that much of correlation between this. December 2018 was red, but, I mean, barely red. I mean, it was like a 10% range that you're really in. Let's go back one more. And obviously December 2017 was bullish. So you can see it's all over the place, right? It's really, if you look at what happens, it's usually bullish during a bull market and bearish during a bear market. Shocker, right? I mean, it's like we're coming out with breaking news. December is bearish during a bear market. Okay. And bullish during a bull market. Woohoo! Holy crap. Warning, shots fired. I just came out with like breaking news, man. Holy moly. Let me see. So, I mean, I guess up until, we can go back further, but I mean, up until that point, I mean, it is what it is. I guess we can go back one more. Let's go back a couple more. Let's see. December 2016 was bullish. It was a bull market. Okay, makes sense. December 2015 was bullish. It was a bull market, I guess. That makes sense. December 2014. Oh, it was bearish. It was a bear market. Who would have thought? Let's do one more. December 2013 was bearish. So I guess you can't really take anything from that. I guess what you can take from that is Bitcoin's still in a bear market at this point. So you would expect Bitcoin to be bearish. I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess that's all we can really take from that. If we can take any type of analysis from Bitcoin in December's, that's what we got. Let's see. BB get arrested with hooker in Bahamas, calling it now. What? What's everyone talking about? I got to go check this out. You guys are telling me that he actually went to the Bahamas. Holy moly, man. Listen, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's not looking too good, said Jax. Where's Fahid? Fahid, you in here, buddy? Oh, there he is. No, LOL, didn't know who it was on YouTube. Also, who is Zero on YouTube? Zero? Who's that? What's going on, Mike? Good to see you, buddy. Mike's in here on Saturday night. We're kicking it. We're kicking it. We're kicking it. That's what we're doing here today. Jabba is on a date tonight. Okay. Jabba's on a date tonight. We could probably see what he's doing. Well, let's go. Should we give him a quick ball? Let's see. Hey, Jordan, what's going on? Oh, the date's going great. Yeah, it's going great. No, it's not Melissa. It's not Melissa. Yeah, I'm teaching her how to short Bitcoin. She seems really interested. Really interested. You want to see? Hold on, I'll show you her. Ready? Yeah, so, if you want to short, you're going to use my Bybit link, okay? You're going to get 10% off fees if you short, okay? 10% off fees, and to short, you just press the short button. That sounds really, really awesome, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Doesn't it? She's not interested at all. Anyways. Scan said, I'm so hungry. Wow. Adopt already. Let's go to the moon. Family hodl strong gang. Wow. That was a long message, man. Holy moly. Let's see. Please uni? Yes. Just because you said please, my man. If you didn't say please, I would say no. Why? Because manners get what you want. Okay. Don't be the Karen who goes into the McDonald's and says, I asked for 2 pickles, bitch. You gave me a half a pickle. All right? Take it back. Take it back. Ma'am, this is a McDonald's. Do you want me to just throw another pickle on it for you? Like, take it. Take the pickle back, bitch. Anyways, Uniswap. Let's look at Uniswap. So Uniswap is, let's see Uniswap. So Uni. Uni's just holding the range lows. I mean, it's not doing too much still. What I'll say about Uni is, right, obviously range low, deviation breakout, and then you just kind of tested the range low again. So this is the big support for Uni here. That's been holding since July. It's just been backtest after backtest after backtest after backtest of that level there. You did come up and take the daily vector on Uni. So I guess there's not too much of an incentive for them to bring it back up on Uni necessarily. But I'll say here, though, there is this still big daily wick to the upside. Okay? Back up here to 750. And that would, in theory, right, let's do a little this, because we do have this downtrend resistance coming on here for Uni. That would, in theory, once again, if we continue our thesis of Bitcoin getting a move up into the FOMC meeting, okay, that would, in theory, Bitcoin Uni would hold this range, come up, right, test this downtrend resistance while also tagging that little wiki wick here. And then, as we go into the middle of December, we roll back over and we come back down to the lows, right? That's what that would work out for. Nice eyeliner. Thank you. We were talking about the other day. You guys ever see the girls that they look hideous without makeup? Like absolutely hideous without makeup. They put on makeup, and then all of a sudden, They look like this freaking goddess out of nowhere. They go from like a 3 to a 9, and you're like, bro, what the hell? This shouldn't even be legal. It's like catfishing. But, okay, imagine if guys, and I'm not saying guys wear makeup, but imagine if guys had the same way to transform them for their faces, to upgrade themselves like girls did. Oh my God, every guy would be a 10. It would be ridiculous, man. It's like a cheat code. Imagine that. Holy moly, man. I guess the guys' version of that is working out. There we go. When the cooking show? bro, the cooking show. I'm not like a great cook. What I'll say about this is, no, I can't do a cooking show, man. I can't do a cooking show. Now, I could do where I just sit here and eat, but that's also kind of boring, you know? But I say that's boring, but like, and then I go check out some of these eating channels, and these channels got freaking 1 million views of them just sitting there eating food. I'm like, bro, what the? They're not even doing anything. They're just sitting there talking, eating food. Is it? Are we serious here? Are we serious? You know? Let's see. Korean guys also doing makeup. You serious? Oh my god. Put on yoga pants and they go from a 2 to a 5. Depends. Depends. You know, you don't want the big muffin top putting on yoga pants. Then they go from a 2 to a 1, if you know what I mean. You don't want that frig where the thing kind of rolls over. You know, you guys know the muffin top, right? Where the body's coming down like this. The muffin rolls go over the side of the legs, okay? And then they take the yoga pants and they tuck the fat. They tuck the fat into the pants. And they're like, oh, it's going to hide it. And then they just got this big freaking bulge coming out the side. It's like at that point, they just get some bigger pants. Like shit. It is what it is, man. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyways, let's jump back in here. So Uni, have you met the Muffin Man? Oh man, the Muffin Man, I think. The version of the Muffin Man is the guys who wear a t-shirt that's too short, and then their stomach fat comes out from the bottom of the t-shirt. And they act like it's normal. That's the guy version of the muffin top. Where the stomach just comes out the bottom of the t-shirt. You know what I mean? Kind of hot. Does your cap smell now? Oh, I'm sure it does. I've been sweating like ball sack in here. Oh, no, it doesn't. It actually smells like a new hat still. We'll give this. Hopefully Bitcoin can hold the lows for a while. We'll give this a little bit. Give this like a week, and this thing will probably smell really, really badly. All right, Bitcoin's holding the lows here, so it's just up, down, up, down, up, down off the support. It's one of those things again. I don't expect a big move at least until tomorrow afternoon, right before the weekly close. Until then, you're probably going to see chop, 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 suey like we do every single sort of weekend lately, right? Now, man, my favorite thing to talk about is this, because this is the big talking point, guys, right? Let me ask you guys in the chat, okay? Do you think Bitcoin, when the Fed pivots, okay, let's pretend the Fed does a 50 basis point hike in December, okay? The market already has that priced in, all right? That's what everyone's expecting. 50 basis point rate hike in December. I don't think that's going to cause like a major move because the market's already got that priced in. Let's assume 50 in December, and then January they're off. February, let's assume that they do. Man, that's the tough one, right? Because in February, do they just go 25 or do they say we're done? That's the big kicker. But let's do a little dubious speculation. Let's assume over the next 3 months, inflation continues down. Okay, so they do 50 in December. Let's assume that December inflation goes down, January inflation goes down, February inflation goes down. So you get 3 more CPI prints, inflation continues down. Let's assume that February they go none. Okay, do you think at that point the markets would react favorably to a Fed pivot or react? That doesn't mean that the pivot, but they can stop. Would they act sort of negatively to that, right? Because we talked about in the 2 last big recessions that everyone likes to compare this current time to, the Fed pivoted at the peak, okay? Whereas we're not at the peak. The peak was a year ago at this point, okay? So that's why this time is so much different. And we've already had inflation technically peak. Whereas the last times, right, in 2000, inflation also peaked at the peak, right? And in this time, 2008, I guess, inflation peaked to a similar point as we're at now. Let's see. The printer's coming back on. You think so? Let me see what you guys thinking here, chat. I love talking about this stuff because this is the stuff that really matters at the end of the day, right? We all get so caught in the Bitcoin charts, and I think those do matter as far as, okay, where do I want to buy BTC and stuff like that. But as far as the big macro moves, this is what's going to do it. 100%, 10% down. Everyone's going down on BTC. I'm jealous. What if they don't because they see major signs of recession? True. Mr. Miles said I farted. Nice, Mr. Miles. But let me see. The euro is dead. That's what Mimomo said. I mean, the euro's been killing it. The euro has been absolutely crushing it. So, I mean, ever since we saw the breakout on the euro's been absolutely crushed. I mean, that is one thing that we kind of killed at the moment. If you took that euro trade, you did pretty freaking good on that one, right? Where we sort of said, okay, as soon as the euro breaks out of this, the dollar is going to get crushed, okay? And that was pretty accurate at that point, right? Euro broke out. Since the really end of October, the euro's been crushing it to the upside. Same thing with the DXY, right? Since that point, DXY broke down from this point. DXY was getting crushed from that point. So we sort of killed that one. It's just that FTX came out and kind of killed the Bitcoin narrative that we were looking at, So that's where we're at with that one, man. Let's see. When ADA moon? ADA ain't moon until Bitcoin moons, my friend. ADA is the future and the future is now. Mr. Miles, you got to be trolling, man. I don't believe that you're not trolling. Let me see. Jackson said, come to Denver and we will catch up with crypto and I'll make you Cincinnati chili. Bro, I love chili. I honestly don't make chili enough. I would love to eat some chili, but I ain't coming to November to Denver. You get a better shot of seeing Santa Claus pop up here on the stream. Okay, you get a better shot of that than seeing Santa Claus pop up on the stream right now, which is probably very, very unlikely. Okay, very, very unlikely. as Santa pops up. That Santa looks sus. Yeah, I wouldn't trust that Santa with my kid. I wouldn't trust any Santa with my kid. Most of the Santa Claus you see in malls look very, very suspect. Very, very suspect. A lot of them, like, they get up from the seat, and they got that, they get up from the seat, and they got that butt crack sticking out, They got that butt crack sticking out, which means that clearly that they don't have pants that fit them. But does that mean that they're sus? No, but your butt crack should not be poking out if you're Santa Claus, okay? We don't want that present. We want some toys. We don't want Santa Claus's butt poking out, The kid's gonna go, hey, Mom, is that the crack you've been talking about? Let's see. Doge top 5. Doge top 5. I mean, Doge. I could see Doge being top 5, but only if they continue with sort of, and Twitter. If Twitter adopts Doge, I could see that, honestly. But it's only if Twitter starts to actually use Doge, and that's going to be based off hype. Not like it means a lot, but that would get everyone hyped. I mean, we just saw Doge went up to 15 cents not too long ago. If it did that again, that would put Doge. That would put Doge at like number 6. That would put Doge ahead of XRP. If Doge went straight up to 15 cents again, that would put Doge above XRP. Would be in the top 5. You know what I mean? So, can you do Sol again? Entry and exit for short-term scalps? Solana. Let's see Solana. Let's see. So Solana is, let's see. Sol. Sol right now, I mean, the play kind of already happened, right? The play was shorting that level, right? It was shorting this level here. Why is it jumping around like that? Like a freaking, man. Trading view, dude. You're killing me. You're absolutely killing me right now. Let's see. So, let me get rid of this. It's unnecessary. Pull this up a little bit to the actual resistance point. There you go. So I guess the play was, you got resistance, and resistance coming across over here, right? On this little last move up to the highs, you saw a little bit of bearish div come out, right? So you get highs. I mean, so the short play, I guess, kind of played out there for Solana already. Now you're back out in support, at least on the 4-hour time frame. So I guess you got to respect support. And that was sort of the long play. I mean, if you want to play support, there it is. Now, what does this look like in the longer terms to me? I mean, if Sol gets rejected here, I'm going to be looking for a play off of, if I was trying to do Sol here, I'd be looking to play probably off the 618 retracement, which also lines up with these lows. You see these lows coming across here at the 618 retracement? And then that would give you, right, your classic little left head, right shoulder formation. If it retraces the 618 retracement, you get that right shoulder, bada bing, bada boom, you get that rise back up. So I mean, at this point, I think you play the support here. You play the support here. If that breaks, you play the 618 retracement support. I think the short kind of missed out on that short entry, which was at the highs at that point for Sol, But that is that's kind of Sol in the short term here. I do think Sol, if the market moves up again, I do think Sol is going to get a pretty hefty move up, back up to 18 bucks. If the market wants to move up here, Bitcoin decides it wants to break up from this little, short-term consolidation pattern here, or even if it comes back down to lows again, it comes back up. I think you'll see Sol perform pretty well. Let's see. Doge has a future. Dodge over Chrysler. Man, Chrysler's cars blow, bro. Chrysler's cars blow. I would say the only good Chrysler car is I think it's the Pacifica. The only good Chrysler car is the freaking minivan, bro. I'm telling you. Listen, I used to work in the car markets. I've driven all these cars. The only good Chrysler car is the Pacifica. Now, the 300, it was not that bad. But that's my hot take. My hot take is the only good Chrysler car is the Pacifica. If you guys are into cars, you know. To me, the Pacifica, you could argue the Honda Odyssey was the best minivan, but the Pacifica, hey, number two on the minivan style. I'm not a minivan guy. I hate minivans, but Chrysler Pacifica is not too bad. Let's see. Dodge and Chrysler are the same. They are the same company. That's true. Cars are different, but they are the same parent company. They have the same parent company. You're definitely a Sebring guy. The Sebring. Let's see. You're really talking about minivans? Hey man, if you're talking about Chrysler, that's all you got. The Chrysler 200 is trash. The Chrysler 300, it's kind of overrated. Not even a Chrysler. Man, I mean, let me see. Let's see. Michigan stole my soul today. F you Wolverines. Clint, are you into college football, my man? I'm not a big. I used to love college sports, but I obviously it's too much. There's too much sports, man. I can't keep up with football, basketball, and then college basketball, college football. There's too many sports, bro. I don't got time for all those sports, bro. There's too much going on, right? College football is all day on Saturday. NFL is all day on Sunday. And then you got basketball's on every freaking night. Hockey's on every freaking night. There's too much. There's too much. I can't add on. I used to be a huge college basketball guy too, but not lately. Not lately. That was a long time ago. That was probably like 10 years ago. I was a big college basketball guy. Big college football guy. Man. It's too much. It's too much. Daily close incoming. Let's see. Daily close. Bitcoin's going to close another daily red. That's okay. Not like we're really going anywhere at this moment. F Ohio. What's the deal with this bank and SBF for the little shack? I missed the story. I didn't pay attention to any crypto stuff today. So if anything broke today, I have no idea about it, to be honest. I didn't even really check Twitter today, to be honest. I didn't check Twitter. I didn't watch any YouTube videos today. I basically hopped on the stream and we kicked it. We kicked it right away. You know, that's basically what happened today. Record them and watch them in the mornings. Your mornings are free now. True. Not every morning. The important mornings I'll come on. If there's a big event coming on, or Monday mornings, I'll probably do streams on Monday mornings too, since it's the market open too. Man. I don't really want to go over all the charts again. I'll save these charts for a few days and kind of do an update of where we are on like the SPX versus the money supply chart, Bitcoin versus the SPX chart. These charts are fascinating because they're all at key levels, right? We'll retouch on these. We talked about a lot about these on yesterday's stream, but this is kind of boring stuff. I don't think you guys want to talk about this today, to be honest. But I think these charts are actually more important than anything. But we will talk about these. We'll talk about them a little bit tomorrow on the weekly close stream. But today, it's a Saturday stream. We kicking it. We kicking it today. Marcus, what's going on, buddy? He said, how do you feel about the Rose OSIS protocol? What does the chart look like for you? On Rose, I mean, I would say over the long term, it's going to follow BTC. But let's just look at the short-term chart. Why not? Let's see. So this looks promising. Let's go to the start on the daily and see what we got cooking here. Yeah, I mean, I actually, this chart, actually, I actually really like Rose at this point. The reason why I like Rose here, most people will be like, this chart looks horrible. What I'll notice about this chart is, at least it seems every time it comes down to and tests this level here, it seems to get a nice rise up. Number one. Number two, I look up and I don't see them. Right? I don't see the market makers. And you got to understand, they're not just going to dump it straight down. You're going to see waves, right? One, they're going to bring it back up, and then they're going to dump it if they want to. Two, I see you're at a key support level. Okay, so 1 support, 2 supports, 3 supports. And then you look up and you say, okay, they move this down quick, right? Quick move down. And now you're kind of rounding out. And I also see, what do you see up here? You see a vector candle up to the upside. And this is why you'll see a list for a lot of different altcoin charts. That's why over the course of the next couple of weeks, I do think you get a methodical move up to the upside. And then you get sort of till the middle of December. And then just depending on what Powell does and says on the next FOMC meeting, that's going to decide what the next move is after that. But I do think the market moves up until then, because a lot of people take the FOMC minutes as bullish, which I would argue not necessarily is true. But Rose, the daily doesn't look too bad. The 4-hour chart, I think, was a little bit choppy, right? Yeah, it just looks like Bitcoin chart on the 4-hour. You're probably just waiting on a Bitcoin break on the short term, but you sort of just range locked here, right? It's a little bit wonky of a range, but you'll notice that you got a little bit wonky. It's a very, very wonky sort of neckline here, but a little bit of a wonky neckline, right? Left shoulder, head. Trying to carve out that right shoulder. You still could come a little bit lower here on this right shoulder, but trying to carve out that little right shoulder and try to bring it back up. More so, it's just the, this round and out And I expect that, sort of wave structure, right? You get the first wave down, you get the wave back up to retake it, and then they sort of come back down again over the course of the next couple weeks. But that's what I see for Rosa. I'm play it very simply, right? People get way too caught up in indicators, man. Look at where this has bounced in the past, okay? Just look where it bounced in the past. Let's just extend this over, okay? Look where this has bounced in the past. You're going to short right here. That's where you're going to short, based off where it's bounced in the past. Now, sure, it could break, but statistically speaking, shorting right here is not good. This is I actually really like this chart, to be honest. Like, I actually might look at this tomorrow and sort of do something with this. Thank you for bringing this up. I love this chart, actually. This is pretty clean, actually. Not a lot of altcoin charts have that much sort of macro support. Now, it does look like eventually, right, even if it does maybe move up at some point, it does look a little like left head, right shouldery. But, I actually do like this chart. It's pretty sexy. It's pretty sexy, man. It's pretty sexy. What's going on, Jackson? Come to Denver and stay at Casa Jackson? Jackson, I don't even know you, first of all. 2, I'll come for the chili. Let me know. It is Christmas time, and I got vacation on January. But maybe we'll do another, during the next bullish phase, okay? Maybe we'll do another little meetup action, and we can sort of actually have people go this time, right? Most people go this time. And because we're not in the middle of a bear market like we were last time. Jordan will soon be abducted. Oh, listen, I'm the last crypto streamer that's going to be abducted, man. There's people going nuts over here, Let's see. I bet fear and greed is at like 20 or something. Let's see what we got for fear and greed. Let's see what we got for fear and greed. What do we got today? We got some Black Friday sales. We got Ray-Bans. We got some sunglasses on Black Friday. 30% off Ray-Bans. Hey, if you want some, go check out Ray-Bans. 30% off. It's actually not a good deal. For me, if I'm going to take a Black Friday deal, it's got to be at least 50% off. Like 30% off, that's a slap in the face. Just saying. Just saying. It's got to be at least 50% off. It's not more than 50%. I'm not even going to go to your website, okay? You give me 50 and that's it. What else have we got? We got earpods. We got some camera stuff. Nice. All right, what are we looking at? So we're actually at 26. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that the fear and greed doesn't show lower. And I don't, this is why I'm not a big fear of the fear and greed index, to be honest, because you look around the crypto space, there's more fear than even people who love crypto are like ultra bearish right now. This is why I don't love the fear and greed, because it's not always accurate. You're gonna tell me that the fear is not worse now than it was back in, say, June. Okay, I understand June came down harder, but I don't think anyone thinks Bitcoin's gonna move up right now. Does anyone, guys? Let me know in the chat. Does anyone think Bitcoin's getting back above 25K within the next 2 months? Does anyone think Bitcoin gets back above 25K within the next 2 months? Let me know in the chat. Does anyone think that? Let's actually do a poll. Actually, no, we're not going to do a poll. Just let me know in the chat. Let me know. Does anyone, and be honest, don't just say yes. Do be honest. Do you think Bitcoin gets back above that? They're numb to the fear. Oh, bro, I think everyone's numb to the fear, man. Anyone that's still in crypto at this point is freaking numb as a freaking rock. This has been, and I don't say this lightly. You just compare this to previous bear markets. At least for Bitcoin, this bear market came down faster than 2019. You know what I mean? Let's see. No. If the Fed pivots, but I don't think they're not going to do that in December. So I don't think that's likely. No. Robin said yes. I think fear and price up or not has nothing in common. Everyone does not care or is out. That's true, Crypto Wolf. I think most people that's the point in the market we're at right now. Yes, we can go low, right? I think that's you'd be dumb to say Bitcoin can't go lower, especially because the macro is shit. I would say if the whole world, if Bitcoin wasn't in a, I shouldn't say this, Bitcoin's a recession. If the market wasn't in a freaking recession or coming into a recession, and inflation wasn't so high, I would have said that the bottom would have already been in a while ago. The issue is you still got the shit show that you have to deal with in the background, you know? So, but anyways, I mean, this bear market's been pretty brutal. I think most people that are still in this space are pretty numb to it. And I think the good thing about being in the market, in this bear market, is you've learned a lot of lessons. And I always like to say that, right? I mean, you've learned to sort of temper your emotions a lot, right? You guys know, and I hope if what I hope for a lot of you guys is a lot of you guys came in 2020, 2021. But I hope you guys, you guys gone through a euphoria phase where altcoins were going up 20, 30% like every single day, and you've also gone through a bearish phase now where we were getting crushed. So you've been through both. So I guess the good thing is I think we've all learned a lot of lessons going into the next run, whenever that's going to be. Who knows? At this point, I'm not in the business of saying when it's going to happen. There's too many variables. But when it does happen, we've all learned a shitload of lessons, and I think that's the best thing. You got to stay positive in times like, and that's the best thing you can take from this is we will all be smarter, and we will all temper our greed, temper our fear. Going into the next run. Let everyone else be super, super greedy. Okay? Let everyone else be super, super fearful. Stay even keeled. That's what you got to be. And I think a lot of us kind of are emotionalists now. Maybe to a fault. Maybe we're emotionalists to a fault at this point. But that's where we're at. Let me see. In this since 2017. What's going on, Hamilton? That's what I'm talking about, man. 2017, boys. Put your hands up. Oh, Lord. Just set sub 15K buy orders and go to the beach. Come back next year. Sounds like a good plan, Paul. Sounds like a good plan. Most likely, man. Listen, we sort of talked about the worst case scenario. What's the worst case scenario for BTC? Let's pretend that this ends up being a shit show like 2000. Right? Let's just do a shit show. Okay? An absolute shit show. Or at least take the shit show from S&P. And let's go based off time. Let's not go based off price. Let's take the worst bear market that has ever happened for the S&P. Okay? Which was, I believe, was it 2008? 2008 dropped 57%, and this one dropped 50%. Take your pick. I mean, if we're going time-wise, from the highs to the lows, and I guess this to me is obviously. I mean, we talked about this. This was 24-month-long bear market in 2000 and this one was in 2008 was a 16-month bear market. So you're looking between 1 year and 4 months, and 2 years. We talked about this. We're a year through it. So, I mean, even if this is like 2008, you'd be looking at April of this upcoming year for the bottom for the S&P. There's so many variables, right, to go along with this. I do think this time's a little bit different because the Fed pivoted at the highs, and this time they haven't pivoted yet. We've already seen the market come down. I mean, the S&P came down almost 30%, whereas it came down 50% in 2008. But the Fed hasn't pivoted yet. So that could add a little extra juice one way or the other. But, it'll be interesting. I do think 2023 will be an interesting year either way. I think you'll see a lot of chop sideways action, but you'll also see that next big monumental move where, either you're got to see that big crash like 2000 and 2008 that drops the markets 50%, or you're going to see something a little bit different. We don't know. We don't know. But when we talked about in the past that when inflation's peaked in the past, okay, obviously right here, the Fed kind of pivoted pretty close. We haven't seen that yet. But if you go back to the 70s, which a lot of people like to point out too, the Fed pivoted before inflation peaked in the 70s, right? So Fed pivoted here, inflation peaked at the bottom. Fed pivoted here, inflation peaked at the bottom. Fed pivoted here, inflation peaked at the bottom. Well, so far, the inflation peak was the bottom of the market. But could that tell us that inflation hasn't actually peaked yet? We'll see. We'll see. I don't want to go too into deep dive. I can talk about that shit all day. I love talking about that shit. BTC halving March 2024? Of course. We obviously know about the halving. And that obviously is going to play a role into this because people are going to look at, okay, what happened back last time for BTC before the halvings? Bitcoin went up. So people are waiting for that. And I will remind sort of where we are that if the Fed decides to be any type of bullish, okay, any type of bullish, well, I mean, we're at that point where typically Bitcoin, if the macro wasn't shit, we're at that point typically where Bitcoin actually starts to move up, before the halving. People like to say, oh, okay, Bitcoin goes up at the halving. It actually goes up before. Okay, you look here, from December basically to the halving was up in 2014, and from 2018, you pretty much went up from this point too. You see, you're right here at this point. So we'll still see. This is definitely the most interesting Bitcoin bear market. You got too many variables going on, man. Too many freaking variables. And we didn't even talk about the Russia-Ukraine shit, which could change everything too. There is so much shiitake mushrooms in the air, okay? They're all floating in the air. And we're just trying to not let them get in our mouth at this point, Woo! How much further down do you realistically think we can go? It's a good question. I mean, let's say the worst case scenario. Let's see the S&P drops. Okay, so let's just go over here. Let's see the S&P. So the S&P dropped so far. The S&P dropped 27%. And we talked about 2008. The S&P dropped 57%. That was on a wick. I mean, we can make the argument that you really dropped 50%. And in 2000, you dropped 50% on candle body closes as well. So let's say 50%. Let's say it's like 2000. Let's say it's like 2008. And the S&P drops 50%, which would put it right at sort of that March of 2020 low, which is pretty interesting. Back down at 2,394. Now, if we want to do a little bit dubious speculation, okay, because shout out to my guy Ben Cowan. So let's just do a little math, okay. So we dropped about halfway, right? Halfway from that point where we dropped from here to here was about let's around 25%. So about halfway to 50%. And Bitcoin at that same time dropped. Dropped about. I mean. That was in June, so I guess that was a little bit different. But let's say in June, when the S&P bottomed, it dropped about 72%. Let's say the S&P does another drop of 50%, okay? Which Bitcoin in that time did what? 72%. And this is just some random stuff we're kind of talking here. If Bitcoin was to drop that much, that would put it at about 4,500, okay? So this is my take. Is if shit hits the absolute fan, okay, like absolute fan, like everything that could go wrong goes wrong, okay, which I don't see this happening personally. I mean, this would mean that you gotta get a lot of people to sell, man, because this is also not taken to the point where how many Bitcoin are lost forever, how many people are just never gonna sell their Bitcoin, okay. So do I think this is likely? No, okay. But we're just looking at like the absolute worst case scenario. That's what I say for BTC. But like I said, I don't think that happens. I don't want to scare everyone, but That's what I'm looking at. See, my 3K prediction is correct. Holy moly. So we went seriously deep there. Seriously deep. Putting my buy orders at 4K. 4K. Lordy, lordy, lordy. That would be, imagine that. That would be absolute craziness. That would be absolute craziness. At that point, I mean, most people would be able to just scoop up 1 BTC, which is pretty crazy. Which is pretty crazy. I mean, a year ago, people buying 1 BTC, most people couldn't even dream about buying 1 BTC. Big picture, man, big picture. There you go, Brian. Brian, I watched Becker's video like you told me. He made some good points, man. I would say this time is very, very different from a macro structure, though. Very, very different. Everything that can go wrong has happened in crypto this year and has held up. Sure, we all want to buy cheap moon, but cheap ain't gonna happen. I would listen, I don't think Bitcoin's going to 4,500. Trust me. I'm not saying I think that's going to happen. I was just looking at the worst case scenario. Everyone just shit themselves. Everyone's like shit, man. That was just doing some simple math. That wasn't taking into account many different factors that are in crypto. Like I said, like how much of the Bitcoin supply is lost. You know what I mean? Is there a stat on that? Let me look it up real quick. Let me look it up. How much of the Bitcoin supply is lost? Let me look that up real quick. According to Chainalysis, about 25% of Bitcoins are believed to be lost. So let's think about it this way. If 25% of Bitcoin are lost, you know what I mean? That gives you kind of, if you think about 25% of Bitcoin's lost, that gives it kind of a floor at some point. You know what I mean? Where at some point, you're only going to be able to get crushed so much. You know what I mean? You're only going to be able to get crushed so much. Let me get rid of that. 25% of Bitcoin are lost. According to that, that's an estimate. And that doesn't take into account the whales that'll never sell. Like ever sell. Right? Will Binance sell? Will Coinbase sell? They could if everyone sells off, but that doesn't even take into account the supply that Binance and Coinbase hold. You know what I mean? 13%. Plus 1 million BTC blocked by Satoshi. Brian said that just makes it seem worse now. Sure. There are less than 3 million BTC available to buy, trade, and less than 1.8 million left to mine. Facts, Wayne. It's very true. Let's see. All right. What's going on, Paul? Thanks for joining, man. Thomas said, can you check out Block when you get a chance? Blocktopia? Let's look at some Blocktopia. I don't think anything's moving right now. Guys, it's the weekend, bro. I wanted to hop on and just kind of hang out and chill on a Saturday, but you gotta understand it's the weekend. And lately, the weekends have been freaking brutal, man. Brutal. You're seeing Chainlink moving up though. I hate and love Chainlink moving up. Blocktopia. So Blocktopia lost this huge floor. You see this? Blocktopia all throughout June, October, November, just smashed through that floor right there. So now that's going to act as a big resistance point there. Unfortunately, Blocktopia has gotten freaking annihilated. Holy moly. Holy guacamole. This one's gotten freaking fried, huh? This, I'm going to be honest. This chart looks like absolute poo-poo. Let me zoom out a little bit. Oh my lord. This chart looks like freaking poop. Look at that, man. Holy God. I can't even scroll up to the top. 18. Holy shit. How much is this down? This one's almost down 99%. So it's almost down 100%. This one, dude, I would say I'm not very confident in this one, man. This one's just shown no... man, this one... I don't know what to tell you. I would say, okay, maybe short term, right? I mean, if we're talking like this, if we see a rise up in crypto, okay, can this one get a short term rise to retest this as resistance, take this daily vector candle here? Sure. I mean, but this one's gotten absolutely decimated, man. Decimated. I wouldn't be confident in this one for a long term hold, because I mean it was doing okay and then pooped, and there'll be a lot of altcoin charts that look like this, you know. But this is one of those alts where you look at it and you say, okay, is this one that I look at and say this? I have a lot of confidence in this one going into the next bull market. I would say no. The fact is that the weekly just didn't show any strength. Where you go to some of these other altcoins that, I mean, they've gotten crushed too. But you look at, say, Matic has shown strength in these times, right? Or you look at BNB that's shown strength in these times, and you can just get absolutely decimated. Or say like Uniswap, right? Yeah, at some point it showed strength in the bullish moves up, where that Blocktopia one just got freaking crushed, you know? Absolutely decimated, dude. You know, I don't have any confidence in that one, to be fair. It doesn't have any support. Let me see. Moonboy. That's not poop. That's shitting your pants in the middle class. Pooping. That's sharting. That's not shitting your pants, Mike. That's literally sharting on the chart. Literally sharting. Chainlink. Let's see, Chainlink. Chainlink continuing up. Should we play the pumps up for Chainlink? I don't know if Chainlink going up is good, guys. I don't know if it is. Screw it. We got a little dancing here. It's Saturday. Screw it, man. Get a little move up for Chainlink. Why not, man? But we all know this ain't good. So let's just do this. One day Chainlink pumping will be okay. Right now is not the time. Come on. Mr. Miles said, which would I rather own, Link or Atom? Link. The reason why I say Link is because I'm confident in Link to... Look at this hat, man. This thing's ridiculous. The reason why I say Link is I'm confident in... I mean, Link has always been strong. Like I said, in 2018 bear market, it went up. It seems to be strong. Whenever the market is doing well, Link seems to be doing well. And it even does well with even Bitcoin not doing well sometimes. I just like Link from a risk versus rewards. Link to me is safer. And when I'm in a bear market, I know it's not the sex. When I'm in this point of a bear market, I know it's not the sexy thing to do. But I personally like Link better, to be honest. Not I gotta say I don't like Atom. I think Atom will be one of those that also makes it through the bear market and ends up being one of the ones that actually goes up again. But I'm gonna go Chainlink, man. Link. Let's see. Jordan's half got stiff after the pump song. Whoop! Bona! Whoop! What else is going? Anything else doing okay? Litecoin continuing up. See Litecoin. Litecoin's trying to go up and test that wick again. I would say be careful with Litecoin, even though actually you look at Litecoin, we got basically a retest of the previous high, right? Retest. As it's probably going to come back up and test this 84 level here again. As it comes up to this, be careful, because what do we know about this? M formation is deadly at this point. Okay, watch it very carefully. Very, very carefully there. Be careful of the spike up to come right back down. That's just classic at that point, right? if you wanted to long Litecoin, I mean, the level was probably the back test of the previous high. At this point, it's kind of off to the races. Off to the races. You still got some bearish divergence too. You got lower highs. Lower highs on the RSI, higher highs on price action. So you get a little bit of that divergence there too. Clinty. Clinty, I love Clinty's hanging out in the background, man. Who's hanging out in the background? Let me know, everyone that's in here on this Saturday night stream. As we chillin', watching an absolute paint dry in this crypto market. Paint drying is my favorite. It's my favorite thing in the world. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm absolutely kidding. I'm kidding. Let's see. So you guys are saying here. Ren is up. Let me check out Ren. Ren token. Renny. Well, guys, we'll play the pump song for Litecoin if it breaks that previous high daily close. Ren. Yeah, Ren got a nice little spike up today. I would say, I mean, did it get anywhere? Not necessarily, but it's given its little best try. I got to give it a little credit where credit is due. It seems to be this is kind of the ceiling here. Spike. It's really struggling getting over that level at the current moment, right? And you sort of look at where it is now. Man, you get a little bit of a lower high and a little bit of a higher high on the RSI. So a little bit of bearish div at resistance. And now you sort of got liquidity to the downside here, which, you know, at resistance, right? We get a little bit tentative at resistance, and then when we're at support, we get a little bit bullish, right? The time to be bullish was here. Okay, even though you broke lower, the time to be bullish was there. The time to be bearish is as you approach resistance, if you know what I mean, my friend. So, what would I look for here? Well, I would look for a curve back down, okay? A hold of this support, and then a curve back up if you want to be bullish, okay? That's what I would look for here. But I will not long here. Anyways. Oh, man. Crypto G, you're here to hang out. That's what you're here to do, man. That's what you're here to do. Bitcoin prediction, price prediction for 2030? That's a good question. Let me ask you guys in the chat. What price will Bitcoin be in December of 2030? Let me know in the chat. If you even think Bitcoin will exist. Let's see. I'm going to say this. Okay, let me do a little dubious speculation here, okay? Let's do a little dubious speculation. Let's go to the weekly chart. Okay, so the next halving is in 2024. We should expect the next high to be somewhere in 2025 if we're going to follow the 4-year cycle. So 2025, okay, I'm just going to do some dubious speculation based off 2025. I expect the next bull market top to be lower than most people are going to think. I think it's going to be around like 80 in my guess. So we go up to 80. We drop again. Let's say it comes down to, you never know. I'm just going to say it's going to come down to like freaking like 20K or some shit. Okay. Let's say it comes down to 20K. We come up again. The next bull market high would technically be in 2029. You know, so that would mean that the next high, I mean, we're just projecting out so far at this point. Let's continue this diminishing returns thing. Let's say Bitcoin then goes to 100K. Okay, and yes, don't take this too seriously. I going forward, I'm not going to be as moon boyish. I am going to be very, very pessimistic as far as tops goes. So let's do that. Let's say it comes down to like 30K. And then, so December will be the end of the bear market. I'm gonna be dubious. I'm gonna say Bitcoin in December of 2030 will be somewhere around 50K. That's my dubious speculation. You could hate me for that, but 2030, somewhere around 50K. But, I mean, obviously what would change that is, I mean, what everyone expects for Bitcoin to do, which is to either be some type of massive inflation hedge like gold, which, I mean, gold didn't even do that this time, but let's say it did. Or, you know, you get some super bullish narrative in and the government starts using crypto. Obviously, that's the kicker, right? That's the kicker. Pathwater said 2030 Bitcoin 16K. If it's higher than that, listen. If it's higher than that, if Bitcoin's at 50K, that's going to outpace so many assets anyways. If it's higher than that, hey, give it to me, man. Give it to me. Thank you for an honest opinion, not a silly one. I'm not going to say, oh, it's going to be $10 million. You know? Okay. Great. What's going to get it there? Litecoin to surpass BTC by 2030? I don't know. I would say that like the most bullish thing Bitcoin could do, I would say, you know, if Bitcoin goes nuts, and I could see the scenario where it can be, you know, 200, 300K, but you need you need a lot to go right? You need a lot to go right for that to happen. Jordy breaking people's dreams. Hey, I'm just being pessimistic. I'm not being a moon boy. Okay, like Kathy Wood saying Bitcoin's going to be $10 million in frickin' 2030. You know what I mean? Let's see. George says 1 billion. I think George says 1 million in 2030. Which once again, bring it on, man. I will be the happiest guy in the world if Bitcoin is $1 million in 2030. That's all I need. If that happens, okay, cool, we're good. But I don't I don't think that will happen. To be honest, I think it's less likely that happens than if it is. I mean, if the government comes out and we get another like freaking. If the government comes out and we get another like pandemic or some shit like that, and the government starts printing money again like crazy, making the money go burr, and people don't fall for it this time, but they still print money. I mean, at that point, yeah, if they start printing money like crazy, okay, yeah. But I mean, do we expect them to print money in the next year, 2 years? I don't know. Rain said things don't have to go right. Things have to go very wrong. High inflation, massive dollar printing. Sure. Yeah. And you need a bunch of this. Right? Which at that point, yeah, Bitcoin go up, but like at that point you're just like printing money. So like, yeah, Bitcoin price goes up, but it's going up because you're printing so much money. You know what I mean? Did BB say 350K at one point? Hey, man, listen. You can't hate on people for what their prediction was in the last bull market. Listen, guys. People were just going based off what happened in the past. What threw a huge curveball this time was the pandemic, the massive rise up, and sort of the inflation problem, right? So that threw a huge wrench in things. Was inflation being ridiculously high at the end of last year. So I can't hate on anyone's prediction last year. I mean, I thought Bitcoin was going to go higher too. So it is what it is. It is what it is. My FIP circles call 250K. Your FIP circles? A lot of people use the FIP circles. You don't need the government to print money if you own an exchange. Who wants some FTT? That's true. That's true. You can't believe you just defended BB. No, I'm not gonna defend BB, but I can understand the reasoning why people thought Bitcoin was gonna go higher last year. You know, I can understand that reasoning. Now, will I always agree with it? He says no, I won't. Poland is scoring goals this World Cup. Yeah, they won 2-0 against Saudi Arabia. It's crazy, man. Even the U.S. tied England. Listen, I don't watch soccer, but I know that's a big deal. England and U.S. 0-0. I guess the new strategy would be, I mean, guys, wouldn't this be the next new strategy? If you think you're going to lose against a team in soccer, why don't you just put everyone on defense, not let them score, and you tie, right? Right? If you really think you're going to lose, okay? Like if you think that you're going against a team that's so much better than you, and you're going to lose, why not just go for the tie? You know, put everyone on D. Just put everyone on defense. Everyone would hate on you for that, but you just stack everyone in the box, right? And you do your thing. I don't know anything about soccer rules. I don't know if that's legit. I don't know if you can do that. Like, can you, if you're in soccer, can you just stack everyone on defense? Is that a thing? I don't watch soccer, guys. I'm a basketball, football guy, to be honest. This is the first time I ever watched Jordan stream. He was talking about a bearish snail pattern. TK, this is not the first time you were over here. Oh, the bearish snail pattern from back in the day? Yeah. I would just put everyone in front of the goal. Exactly. Like if you're the U.S. going against England, just stack everyone in front of the goal so they can't score. You know what I mean? It's not as easy as you think it is. You just invite a lot of pressure, which eventually breaks the defense. Sure. Wouldn't work even if they try. You can just chip them all into the goal. True. Listen, I don't watch too much soccer, so I don't know if that would work. I doubt that would work. You know? You could just chip them all in. I think you need a certain amount of goals to move to the finals. Oh, do you? So you can't just like win. You can just tie every time. Now I feel like a bearish snail. Oh, man. Anyways. All right, guys. I think we had a nice Saturday stream. We chilled. Bitcoin didn't do shit. and then I don't expect it to in the weekend. As the weekends are freaking snaily, man. Right? I mean, they're not even crabby at this point. You guys understand. Like, we used to be in a crab market, okay? We used to grow claws, be in a little bit of a crab market, okay? This is my best drawing of a crab, by the way. Okay. We used to be in a crab market. Actually, that's a pretty good crab, actually. Let me do a little eye, you know, a sideways mouth because he doesn't know what mood he's in. And then we do some legs and he's crawling. We used to be in a crab market, guys, back at 19K. Now what are we in? We are in a snail. I don't know even how to draw a snail. I don't know how to draw a snail. I guess like this. Hey, kind of looks like Gary. We are in a snail pattern now, guys. Okay? That's what we're in. So, I think it's going to go sideways for the rest of tonight. Probably into tomorrow. And then hopefully we get some price action on the weekly close tomorrow. If not, we got Monday coming up. We usually get some price action on Monday. So, that's what we're looking at right now, guys. Happy chatting for you. Thanks for hanging out on Saturday. As always, I'll see you guys on Sunday nights for the weekly close stream. Monday, we'll do a member stream on Monday morning for the weekly open. And I'll catch you guys on one of those too. So either Sunday night or Monday morning, and we'll kick it. We'll kick it, man. All right. Adios, guys. Have a fantastic Saturday night. And don't get lost in the snail. Don't get lost in the snail, my friends. Look at it. The crab's like flipping people off. It's got like a middle finger up. Look at that. It's like, screw you, man. Peace out. Enjoy your night. See ya.